Good morning and welcome to the Stahls TV Morning Show. I am Zach.
And I'm Josh. And we're excited to have you on today on this beautiful Monday morning, middle of summer. We have all kinds of exciting products that we've launched over, I'd say, the last 3 to 6 months at Stahls that we want to share with you because odds are you probably missed some of them as we launch them throughout the last little while here. So we're going to condense them all into one episode, and we're going to talk about that a little bit later and walk through those so you can see them all in one place and even start to understand some of our ideas or markets and where you may be able to plug some of these into your store. But before we get to that, we have some Workshop Wednesdays that we'd like to talk about. This is a new program that we kicked off about, I don't know, somewhere around 4 to 5 months ago, where we started having a workshop one Wednesday a month in our various showrooms around the country. So talk to us a little bit about the upcoming workshop.
Next workshop is happening Wednesday, August 8th. These workshops happen from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. and it happens at all of the showrooms that are available to you from Stahls. So Arizona, Corona, which is in California. We have a Florida warehouse in Daytona, Sterling Heights, Michigan, which is our corporate headquarters, and also one in Irving, Texas. You can stop out to any one of those showrooms to register. Just visit us online at stahls.com. You can register online at stahls.com. And this one is Beyond the Hoop, growing your embroidery business with a heat press. So it's going to take a look at what your embroidery business is now and what it could be just by adding heat printing, or if you've already added heat printing, how you can maximize it.
Yeah, we created the content for this class a little while ago, and for embroiderers, I would highly recommend this one for you. If you're currently doing embroidery at all, whether that's in-house or contracting that out, this is really going to show you how heat printing complements embroidery, some ways you can combine the technology, but really some other ways that you can do screen printed looks and a lot of other decorating looks with just a heat press. So this will be the second time we've given this class. I think it was our first Workshop Wednesday we delivered this one. So we've refined it a little bit, and so it should be a good class. Additionally, if you happen to be in the Nashville area or the Orlando area, we have the NNEP, which is the National Network of Embroidery Professionals show on August 17th and 18th in Nashville, and the ISS Orlando show September 6th through the 8th down in Orlando. And I know that's always a big convention and well attended. We have a ton of classes that we're putting on there as well. So those are some of the upcoming areas where you can see Stahls live and in person. Want to go through a look of the week?
Sure.
Sure. Why not?
There's no reason why not. So our look of the week this week comes from Anthony, I'm going to say Scahill. It's always a guess. And this was created with Fashion-FILM and Hologram, and it's a timely look of the week because I believe this week, or at least starting yesterday, was Shark Week on the Discovery Channel. Yeah,
I like this design. It's timely for Shark Week, as you mentioned. I also like the color combinations and the product combinations. So you're getting a look at mixed media and a little different take on it, where you're getting the gray color for the shark, you're getting the hologram blue, which almost adds like an ocean sparkle element to the design. And I like the way that Anthony pieced those together with this.
Yeah, the registration he pulled off with the lines in shark is impressive.
Yeah, so we appreciate Anthony submitting. If you want to submit and share your concepts with other decorators for Look of the Week, there's a couple different ways to do that. You can share them Saturday on our Show and Tell thread on our Stahls Facebook page, or you can go ahead and tag us on Instagram at Stahls Heat Printing to submit your look. So one of my favorite things, and I posted it in our Heat Press for Profit group this morning, one of my favorite things to do here at Stahls with Stahls TV is something we started called the Stahls TV Blueprint. And we've just released episode 4 of the Stahls TV Blueprint, which is our shop visit series. And so you and I actually went on one of the first visits. So what do you think a decorator can garner from watching one of these visits?
I think what you get is a good picture of, one, what other people are doing, because we get to go in depth with people who some have been in business for quite a long time and others are just getting started in the heat printing business. And you'll find, or at least we find as we talk to customers, that a lot of them share the same concerns and the same problems of getting started, like same worries about how can I make money with heat printing. And I think the Blueprint does a good job of laying that out from different customers' perspectives, not just ours.
Yeah, so this will be the third visit. One was a two-part series, which is why this is episode 4. So on the first one, we visited Moose's Enterprise in North Central Pennsylvania, which was an established decorator with a lot of different decorating techniques. So if you haven't seen that one, I'd recommend watching that.
Yeah.
Episode 3, I guess it was, visit number 2, was Cap Swag out of New Jersey, which was a retailer that did primarily headwear and more streetwear, and they were investing in their first vinyl cutter, so you get a lot of hands-on advice on how to operate your first vinyl cutter and put that to work. And this one was a specialty dance retailer called The Bar Room, and she was just expanding into heat printing for the very first time and adding it to the store, so you get a lot of new beginner's advice on how to operate your first heat press and how to put that to work. So you can see that on our Heat Press for Profit Facebook group, and we'll be blogging about it, sharing it on our Facebook page. So that was just published, I think, Friday of last week. All right, so we have people all over the world, really. We have Cleveland, Thorndale, Texas. We have Melanie attending from, or watching from Germany.
There's also some Canada, I think, in there.
A little bit of Canada, Connecticut, Frederick, New York, yeah, there's Ottawa. So good. We appreciate everybody joining. We have people from all over the world tuning in here live on our Stahls TV Morning Show, and it's a fun topic. So it all starts with the heat press. We want to walk through new products, but paramount to utilizing any of these products are harnessing the power of a heat press and really understanding where heat printing is headed, I think, is integral to the conversation. So let's start with the Fusion IQ.
Okay, you're using a lot of fancy words today. I've heard integral and garner. I feel like I should use big words to explain the smartest heat press that money can buy.
All right, give it a shot.
All right, we'll try. So the Fusion IQ is the newest development in heat printing, and basically it's taking the world's best-selling heat press and making it smarter. So you can see the control board that we're looking at there. This comes standard on all of the new Hotronix Fusion heat presses. And some of the key features of it are that it comes with recipes, and I don't know if you're going to be able to see it if I touch it here on the screen or not, but all of the Stahls materials that you could want, and you're not going to be able to see it with the light, sorry about that, come pre-programmed in there with the time, temperature, and pressure that you need for a perfect heat application. Whether that is, it also includes the preheat, if there's a second or third hit, all of the recipes come standard in your Fusion heat press. But more importantly than that, in my personal opinion, at least for measuring production, is the reporting that you can get from the Fusion IQ. And we're going to take a look at a couple of those reports here on screen for you. The machine is Wi-Fi enabled, so you can connect the Fusion IQ to the cloud, and it will measure what you or your heat press operator are doing on a daily or even down to an hourly basis. You can take a look at the total number of impressions that you're doing, how many times the heat press is engaged. You can measure your active versus your idle time. If you turn your machine on in the morning and let someone operate it for you, you can see how many times they're pressing it down, how many hours in the day they're using it, the average cycle time, some of the presets that you're using that are built in there. All of that is in these reports for you. One of the other nice things is if you would run into some technical issue, an application issue, and you need to call Hotronix technical support, who's available 24/7, 365 days a year, they will use some of the information in here. You have your print temperature and your print pressure log that are there, and they can take a look and try and assess what is happening if something is going wrong with one of your applications. It really helps them to figure out what's going on in your shop without actually being there.
Yeah, so it's I'd say the industry's first truly smart machine when it comes to heat presses, and that opens up a whole world of possibilities as far as what you can measure and how you can track not only production analytics, but really success metrics. When you look at if a product fails, that exception report is one of my favorites, is because if something fails, I can go back to the machine on the day that I ran that job, and I can see maybe was something applied at an inaccurate pressure, or was it applied for too short of time? So if you break the cycle of the preset application, it will actually show that as an exception report. You can track it by the user that's logged in if you're running a whole shop, or even if it's just a husband and wife team, you know who to blame it on.
Right.
Right? And so those are important things. So you can track all of that back, and it's smart. So I'd say it's for the small business as well as the really large business. running production. We're showing here and we'll be using momentarily, the Hotronix Air Fusion. And the nice thing about recipe-based cooking with a air model is it will apply the pressure for you. So there's no knobs to turn to try to calculate your pressure. If you program that machine on the preset for 40 PSI, it's going to apply 40 PSI to the item regardless of thickness. So it's really the most goof-proof, if I can steal one of our product terms, machines that are out there. So Fusion IQ, that's definitely an innovation. It comes standard on all Fusion heat presses moving forward. And the next big one is directly beside me here. He's coming. Is the heated lower platen. And so the heated lower platen basically takes the magic of heating from the top, adds it to heating from the bottom, and in layman's terms, we're creating a sandwich of heat. Right. And that is beneficial for a couple reasons. Number one would be it greatly eliminates the chance of scorch marks. And so when you're heat pressing onto heat-sensitive polyesters, when you're heat pressing onto tri-blends, especially darker colors that tend to want to leave the heat press box, when you employ the heated lower platen in your workflow, it helps reduce the chance of scorch marks tremendously. The other nice thing about it is if you want to press on something that's thicker, that's tough to get to the adhesive from the top heat, then the bottom heat comes from underneath the garment and can reach the melting point of the adhesive in a quicker fashion. So products like Twill or a lot of the dimensional products that you'll see coming out in the second half of this year, you'll be able to complete more successful applications with the heated lower platen. And so this is 16 by 20 size. It just unlocks and swaps in like any interchangeable platen would on any Hotronix or Stahls Max heat press machine. So those are a couple of the new things in heat presses. And then we really start to talk about products. Now, as always, this morning show is live, so if you have questions on anything that you're seeing, we thrive off of those. We're happy to hear the shout-outs and where you're from, but please type in your questions as well, and we'll take time to answer those. So, first product.
Well, there's something super eye-catching behind you to your right.
Right there.
Right there. It looks almost reflective.
Yeah, because it is.
Huh.
So, end of last year, we launched a product called CAD-CUT Reflective 2, which was a easier to use, more economical version of reflective, silver reflective material that we launched out into the market. It almost looks white here on camera, but it truly is a silver that's reflecting light back to the source, and we have a bunch of light shining at us here. And so now we've taken the next step in the reflective market, and those are colors of reflective. So you look at a product like this, where it's red. You afraid I'm going to spill it?
I am afraid you're going to spill it.
Okay, at red, and then when you shine light on the source, you get the brightness, you get it reflecting light back. So there are 9 different colors of reflective material. We just pulled out a couple to show you that are red and blue. This is colorized. It's called CAD-CUT High Vis Color Reflective.
Yes.
And it's colorized on top of 3M reflective. That's the base silver material. So you get just a really bright reflective that has a candle power that's brighter than any other color reflective product that I've seen on the market, and it's much easier to use.
Yeah, and as it's truly, and we'll talk about it a little bit more, but it's truly a fashionable product, but it's also extraordinarily functional for people who need high visibility. While it doesn't meet the ANSI standards that are published out there, if you have anybody who needs high visibility but doesn't require the ANSI standard, we learned in our training on this product from the manufacturer that you can see it up to 300 feet away.
Yeah, which is great. So I took one of my favorite products to make apparel with. I think it's fun to wear as well. So I want to pull up an example of a couple photos I took of the product. Let's look at the black reflective and normal lighting. Hits the source. So we're going to pop back to, woo, going crazy over there, Joe. All right, so we're going to pop back to normal lighting and then go ahead with the, basically shot this with the lights off and the flash on the camera. So you can see it goes from black to reflecting that bright white or silver back to the source. All of these colors do reflect that same color, even though they're colors. So I know that a couple pieces of feedback specific from large customers. One, from the functional aspect, when you decorate a high-vis clothing that's already ANSI certified on its own, you really don't need to add any extra visibility to it with silver. Silver on that bright neon yellow tends to be difficult to read in the daylight hours. So we've heard that black or some of these other colors of reflectives makes the logo, the branding element, more legible, which has been a real sales point of the product. People that they're liking it a lot. And then the other real specific visit was large retailer sportswear that just likes it for fashion, streetwear fashion. So you're seeing reflective show up a lot in retail stores, a lot of big brands, whether that's Under Armour, Nike, Adidas, you name it.
Supreme.
Yeah, Supreme. You're getting reflective elements in all of these decorated goods, and now you can create those looks. So incorporate this into your teamwear, into your fashionable apparels, definitely into the corporate market. Lots of opportunities for this product. So let's heat apply some real quick. Show you the application. So we're going to be working on the Hotronics Air Fusion IQ. I'm just going to split and load my garment, leveraging threadability. This is just a polyester jacket from Sanmar. I'm going to start with the preheat. It's becoming more and more important to preheat your garments when you're working with different material types. It just starts with a nice heated base to the garment, especially if you're heat applying your first item for the day. Always preheat that cold lower platen as you're putting an item on. And then I'm just going to position my material. This has been cut and weeded already. It is a sticky backing to the material. It works just like 3M reflective if you've ever utilized that. Same cutting settings, same weeding expectation with how easy it is to work with, and same application settings. Now I'm cheating application settings here since I'm going to be applying a wide variety of items, but you just heat apply the product according to the tech sheet that comes with the product. It's listed on the website. Single step application, hot to warm peel.
And one of the questions that we saw just come up is, can you add a recipe to the Fusion IQ control board? And the answer is yes. You can actually add as many recipes as you want. So if you wanted to do a custom recipe for an application that maybe isn't already built in from a Stahls perspective, you can certainly do that.
Yeah, so here's our completed look. And you can already see it's returning light back to the source there a little bit. So when you look at it at a side angle, that's the easiest way to pick up the color. And then when you hit it at nighttime, it becomes functional and has that high visibility reflect. So it doesn't get much easier to use, really, than the high vis color reflective. And it is sold 24 inches wide. It is a more expensive product for sure per square foot when you compare it to a base film, but the perceived value and what it accomplishes for you is off the chart. So sometimes we say even like a square inch of reflective, like a small logo, a small detail can be the difference. So we see a lot of opportunity for this in the children's market as well. You start to think about back to school, a small logo, even a kid's initials or something like that in reflective or school name on a backpack is great for those low light conditions when they're waiting at a bus stop or walking to school, whatever it may be. All right, it's high vis color reflect. We got any questions coming in?
There were a few. When using the lower heated platen, do we need to have cover sheets on the bottom to put in between anything? Short answer is no on that one. It does come with the cover that you see on the machine, or that you saw on the machine, Josh. You can see it there in the corner of the screen. So it does come with that cover. No additional coverage or paper is necessary underneath. And another question was, can I only use the top if only top heat is necessary? The answer is yes. The lower heated platen is on a completely separate controller, so you can actually change it out on any Hotronics machine with an interchangeable platen and use it only when necessary.
Now the key is it does plug in, is controlled separately, so it requires another dedicated 20 amp circuit to power that. It pulls 14.5 amps just like your normal heat press.
Yeah.
So make sure you allot proper electricity for that. All right, any other questions coming in? We got a link to it posted in the feed, so we appreciate that. Customer loved it, so we got a little testimonial showing up there from Frederick. We appreciate that. Is it thick? No, it's not thick. The high-vis color reflective itself, I think it's soft to the touch, I would say. It's not like stretchy or having any of those performance characteristics, but it doesn't feel really weight on the garment. So I think that was what the question was in reference to. All right, we have a lot of products to cover. Moving on to our next one. New patterns. So this is easily missed. And so I pulled up my computer screen here. I want to show you how to find our CAD-CUT patterns, one of our fastest growing products from Stahls. And if you go up to CAD-CUT materials on Stahls.com and you go into patterns and click on that, you'll drop onto our CAD-CUT patterns heat transfer vinyl page. Our artists are adding patterns at such a rapid pace, it's tough to announce them all to you. So we would recommend that you just go in and check, and Stahls Creative Studios is where you see the Stahls design patterns specifically. And one of the ones I wanted to point out to you is we added a whole new category called fades a little while ago. And this one has been really popular for us because there is a large selection of what you can create. So if we pick something like a diamond fade, the cool thing about this pattern designer is you can step through the process and you can change your colors. So we'll give you popular colorways and you get a nice big visual of the fade pattern up on top. Or if you want to make your own custom product for team colors, let's just say our team is gold and black. Find it right there, black. You can customize your own fade. You can also zoom in and out to get a look. It gives you an indication of the ruler at the bottom, but there are patterns being added to this offering all the time. Another category I wanted to show you, if I just go back, is camouflage. So we have the Realtree camouflage, but there's some cool designer camouflage here. So would you ever think of llama camo? Kind of crazy. So you get, you know, even just cute little ideas within it, change up the colors, and you actually have little llamas in here. Little llamas all through your camo pattern. So cool stuff. I mean, the artists are just creating a bunch of new looks. There's one other one I want to show you in the sports category. There's a lot of different designs. There's everything from cheer bows to pop soccer, I Heart Lacrosse, I Heart Softball. So you pull up one of these patterns, and these products just represent very nicely. You can always change the colors. Our artists have done a nice job in selecting popular colorways. You can see there's 6 color choices in this pattern that you can actually change out to fully customize it. And then once you get to the ending step, which I want to make sure you didn't miss this, is there are 3 product choices.
Wow.
Count them, 3.
3.
You can't see Zach, but he's making fun of me right now. This reminds me of my childhood. All right, so you see Express Print, which is the standard heat transfer material that we launched the patterns category, but you could have missed it. We've now have the glitter product as well. And so I have a roll of the glitter material here that we sell in patterns or by the roll. It's tough to see at this angle, but this is an actual glitter particle, just like our CAD-CUT glitter flake material. That's one of our most popular CAD-CUT materials, and it has a rainbow sparkle to it. So when you get up close to these patterns, you can actually see the glitter component sparkling back at you. So you start to get a little bit of that look to it. It has some texture to it, so it's a nice alternative to just a basic finish. So you can buy this in patterns. Actually, I have another sample of how a fade comes out as well in the glitter. So you get a nice example there. You can buy this in the patterns, or you can just buy the roll of CAD color glitter material on its own. So if you have a solvent or eco-solvent printer, you can buy a roll of material and print your own custom designs, which I'll apply a sample of that shortly.
Yeah, one of the things that some of our customers have been doing is taking the pattern generator and actually just creating a solid color, so they can get a solid custom color of whatever it is that they want to make that way as well.
Yeah, it's a good idea. And the last category that I want to make sure you caught is we've launched the Aurajet sign vinyl in the patterns generator. And so that would be the last selection. So if you want a decal material, sticky vinyl, whatever you call it, This is the Orajet brand that we're actually printing on, so you get a well-known, high-quality product, and then we sell the mask to complement it. So you can basically take that pattern, you can get it in basic, you can get it in glitter for apparel applications, and then you can get it in sign vinyl to apply it to a cup. That's just a single color, but apply it to whatever application you would want to match. You can create a cohesive look in the same pattern.
So the next material that we'd like to talk about is so new that it's actually not available for you to purchase yet, but it should be this Friday. This is a product that is launching this week, and it's called CAD-CUT Metallic. Currently available in 2 colors, silver and gold, which Josh is going to apply some for you here in a minute as well to show you what it looks like. But it's effectively a one-step foil. If you're familiar with using our CAD-CUT adhesive and putting foil on top of that, this eliminates the need for that 2-step application. It's soft, it's stretchy, and applies to the same things that foil is going to apply to. And then also, since you're getting the preview a week before it's launched, a few months from now, we'll actually have a number 8 to 10 colors available in that as well. Right now, silver and gold, but it's I think it's a real fashionable, going to be a popular material for us.
The audience doesn't lie. I'm seeing lots of hearts, lots of wow faces. So this is one you're excited about. We are too. It takes it to a single step, and we love the adhesive in the foil because of the creativity and how you can mix and match and what you can do with it. But sometimes you just want a basic silver or gold in the foil. This takes it down to 1 step, so you can really hit a production environment with the foil. So let's go ahead and press 1. If you all saw our development pipeline, that's what's coming out over the next 6 months.
Yeah,
you'd be excited. We're really excited. We have a lot of.
You dropped a little hint actually earlier in the show, and I was wondering if anyone picked up on it, but probably not.
They'll have to go back and try to find that breadcrumb.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to load it on. We're pressing a thin Bella canvas shirt here. Follow the same steps. Conduct a preheat. And then we've cut the sample out of the metallic and silver. It's tough to see, but it's a bright silver. Sticky backing as well. So it's pretty easy to weed. I'm not going to say it's the easiest product in the world because it is a foil, but compared to other foil products and the adhesive product, it's right in line and easy to weed. And it's easy to apply. It's a single step application. Position it down. Cover. And apply. We will publish the application settings, but I think this one will be able to apply as low as 280 degrees, which is a big win, especially when you're dealing with softer, more heat-sensitive items as well. And I have no doubt that we'll also come out with an application for the heated lower platen with this as well. Now, this is a cold peel product, so I will need to remove it completely from the heat press, and then I'm going to let it cool down before I remove the backing. So
kind of looks cool before you even remove the backing.
Yeah, you can get the
Not
look
too shabby.
even without the backing.
Yeah. So a couple questions came in while you were applying that. One is, will the lower heated platen work with the fusion machine? So with the air fusion machines, yes, the lower heated platen will work. We don't recommend it for use with the fusion, only because of the draw capability of the press, and because the lower heated platen is plugged in to the wall. When you draw it out, you really risk injury or ripping it out of the wall. So we don't recommend it for use with the manual fusion press. And then second question was about the metallic product. Will the colors look like the alloy that was from Imprintable's warehouse? And shorter answer is yes, it will. That's the goal. One of the goals of this product is to finish much like the alloy product that was available from Imprintables. There you go.
Feel it cold, and there's our finished result. So lots of shine, fairly soft feel. I will say it's slightly thicker than the Adhesive Plus foil, just slightly, but the finished look and feel is awesome. It also helps mitigate some of the risk of some of the pinholing you see if you apply the adhesive wrong on the two-step application. This has good coverage even on like cheaper carded cotton $2 t-shirts. You get a product that's going to work well and consistently without a whole lot of room for, or with more room for user error, I should say. All right, so that's the metallic. Wash durability, it should, we're going to recommend it like any other foil product. We're going to guarantee it for 25 plus washes. We're always going to recommend that you hang dry this one if possible. It's going to give it better longevity with the foil staying bright. You can put it through a dryer cycle on low heat, but it's just going to dull down that foil in time. So those would be a recommendation. We do a lot of foil and this will cut our time in half. Great, we're excited about that. And are the custom patterns available for pickup at Arizona at Stahls? All custom patterns are produced to order and shipped from our facility in Michigan currently. And then last question, price point on the metallic product. You remember the price point?
It's going to be slightly more, and when I say slightly, I'm thinking 10 to 15% more than regular fashion film colors. So I think that's where we're sitting with it.
So slightly less than glitter flake, slightly more than fashion film then, somewhere in between that, just for perspective. Okay. All right.
3 more.
I want to address the question that came in. Peggy asked, it was about a durability issue with the green color of foil in the former Imprintables product. We were testing to make sure this does not do the same thing, which is why when we launch the colors, they will work, and you're not going to have the color wear off at all, but we're starting with the silver and gold. All right, so 3 more products you said?
I think.
All right, this one's an easy one. Flock 2. So we have launched a new flock product. It's a replacement for our existing CAD-CUT flocks. You may have noticed that if you shop regularly on our website. Flock 2 is a softer flock. We think it has a much softer feel, a much more higher pile on it, which basically means the dimension it comes off of the garment. And we also are going to be having a lot more colors long-term in this product. So it was necessary that we move our flock product, and we think this one is a better product at the end of the day. And we currently have Flock 2 available in white and black. And as we start to sell out of the existing CAD-CUT flock colors, we'll be transitioning more colors over to Flock 2. So you should see more of a full range of this in the next, was it 30 to 60 days?
Yeah.
So we're excited about that product. Initial feedback on it has been great, but we recommend you try it out if you like the flock product. Some of the advantages of flock, which are well documented here on the morning show, is it's an alternative to embroidery for left chest logos. It also is a cool product for fleece. So heading into fall, it should be nice timing to put it onto fleece with a product that doesn't feel like a traditional vinyl. It's more of a fabric-based product. So those are some of the advantages.
Sequin transfers.
Yeah, this is you.
This is me.
Yeah, why not?
Check this stuff out, guys. This is awesome. So we have one of the group Stahl companies, Wildside Transfers, produces sequin transfers. This one happens to just be flat sequins, and then they are also doing flip sequins. So this one starts red, and if you go into any retail store where they carry juniors clothing, they have these flip sequins on the shelf, whether that's for apparel. It's also become popular on backpacks, being applied to pillows, all different types of items. So flip sequins and regular sequins are available from Wildside Transfers. I'm assuming there's a link to the Wildside from the Stahls.com website.
Yeah, we can post that in the feed here. But the sequin transfers, there's a large selection of them at the Wildside. One of the applications that we like to show, especially for our core Stahls customers that's used to using heat transfer vinyl, is not just putting a pineapple or a heart on a shirt, but customizing around it. So foil tends to match well with these. As far as like the sheen, glitter flake tends to pair well with these, and even just basic fashion film. So I do have a quick example I'll apply for you. You're getting your money's worth on today's morning show.
Yeah. While you're doing that, you can probably help me with the answer to these questions. Maureen has asked twice now, is 1, the flock sublimatable, and 2, are the flip sequins sublimatable?
The flock is not sublimatable, and the flip sequins would be, but I think we're going to have to get some lighter colorways to really make it successful, because otherwise you'd be sublimating on gold and whatnot. But once we start to launch some silver and white in the flip sequins, you certainly would be able to sublimate those. And then there are some other questions.
Rosemary's question was similar. Can you sublimate on the flip sequin appliques? If so, would you recommend before or after you place it on the garment?
That's a good question, because it depends on the garment. Because if you sublimate it while it's on the garment, sublimation obviously takes a long time at high heat, so you could risk scorching the garment. So in that case, I would sublimate it off of the garment, meaning put it onto a Teflon sheet and then sublimate it, and then let it cool down completely before you peel it, and then put it on the garment. But if your garment's not heat sensitive, then the easier workflow is just press it on the garment and then sublimate it while it's directly on the garment. So some of the even non-flip sequins, the standard sequins, we have a unicorn here, and Jenna came up with this concept, so I'm not real sure what it means, but she said it's popular with kids, is 100% unicorn.
Yeah.
So you can position your design, add just a little customization. Could even be a kid's name for a birthday party, whatever you can imagine. Cover it up.
My daughter now has a pajama onesie that makes her a unicorn of the sea. It's very strange. Pretty sure that's a narwhal, but just telling you.
All right.
It's popular. I'm confirming the popularity with the kids.
I feel like you've superseded my vocabulary from earlier in the episode, so congratulations.
Okay.
And with the sequin transfers, these are a thicker product, so I would definitely recommend you preheat that lower platen before you complete an application, because you want to make sure you get to that adhesive layer so you get the durability. So finished result, 100% unicorn. So just a cool way to mix and match, create something completely unique. You are going to get a heavier feel on the garment, but if you walk through any fashion retailer and see sequin designs, it's the expectation. So you shouldn't expect a light feel on sequins. All right, we'll come over here and get a close-up and then talk through the last product. Last product, as you're getting a look at the sequin product, is pre-aligned sim stitch. And so the sim stitch product has been something that we've had out for a while now. It's been popular. So you get the embroidered look with just a heat press. And so this particular sample is our next iteration of sim stitch. And so the edge of this looks like it's sewn. So the garment behind us actually has it on as well. Do you mind removing that garment so we can show it up close? Because I think that'll be a better look. And you can see the edge of this, it looks like it's stitched, but it actually isn't. And so the big benefit here is that when you order product in sim stitch now, you can order it pre-aligned. So before I would have to individually place all these letters, which limited, didn't really make it as production friendly. So now I can just position it all together and heat apply. So that pre-aligned sim stitch is a way that you can think beyond the hoop. You can do some things with your heat press, offer an alternative price point, or if you don't have embroidery, offer something that looks really cool for a fraction of the time, which means a fraction of the price as well as far as the completed good.
I'd like to let Ken know that if he could keep my daughter out of justice, I would really appreciate it.
They try to keep me out of justice. Because I'm checking out the stuff, seeing what we should develop next. But yeah, I think everybody would save a little bit more money if our daughters did not go to justice as often. All right, so those are some of the new products that we have going on. I know that even prior to these, we launched the silicone die block product. We launched the AquaTrue transfer products from Transfer Express. We did the Reflective 2, which we mentioned, new colors in Fashion-FILM, new colors in Glitter Flake. So we're on a new product tear here at Stahls, and it's not going to slow down. I know the next 6 months are just jam-packed with big,
exciting
products.
Stuff we can't even talk about. It's so exciting.
But you should expect to hear more about that in the coming months, and that's what you get by staying tuned to the morning show. So we're running long on time today, so we're going to wrap up today's episode, but just know we're going to go back through once this is over, look through all the questions that are coming in, and make sure if we haven't answered you live on air, that we do provide responses. But we thank you as always for attending live and participating in the Stahls TV Morning Show. Thanks for watching.